Wish I could say I was finally over you, but that's not the truth. Everyone always keep falling in love again. The fuck's wrong with them? I don't understand. Maybe it will pass by, someone save me. For I pass out, I'm too lonely to be done electric at this pace. Yeah. Why am I the only one who's left in the rain with nobody to hold on to?
This Starbucks Stanley travel mug is probably one of the best travel mugs I have ever bought. I bought it in Hong Kong. What's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. It is Tuesday. I am so sorry I didn't talk to the camera yesterday. I was about to, but I spent basically all day having a very, not even low grade, like a mid-grade anxiety panic attack, because if you've been watching my channel for a while, you will remember the video I made in the last few weeks that I lived in Hong Kong last year, where I got my Hong Kong tax bill. Now, just for a little bit of background, if you are an American citizen, you have to pay American income tax anywhere you live in the world. Yes, that's right. The United States and Eritrea are the only two countries in the entire world that tax their citizens based on citizenship, not on residency. This also means that if Americans have children and the children inherit their American citizenship but never set foot in the United States, they are on the hook for American income tax for their entire lives, or until they renounce their citizenship. I know it sounds unfair, and personally I think it's unfair. Now, there are a couple of ways that the US government tries to make it a little bit more fair on its citizens who live and work abroad. One is the Foreign Earned Income Exemption, FEIE, and the other is the Foreign Tax Credit. I am no tax expert, as evidenced by my complete freak out yesterday, but so the deal with the FEIE is that every year, if you live abroad and you earn all your income abroad, there is a certain amount of money that the IRS says you don't have to pay American income taxes for. And this is adjusted every year for inflation. You still have to pay foreign income tax on that amount, but that's like two separate things. So after you exclude that amount from your total income that you report to the IRS in the United States, you still have to pay federal income tax on the rest of your income. Now, this is where I think I completely misunderstood the tax code, and I just didn't do my research, because I thought that if you pay income tax in another country to another government because you're living there and making money there, you could get the foreign tax credit, the FTC, on that amount. So you wouldn't be double taxed on the same amount of income. But no, that is not the case apparently. So anyway, last year I wound up paying about 50% of my income to income taxes to various governments. I thought that the amount of income tax that I pay to the Hong Kong government would help lessen the burden that I have to pay to the US government, but apparently that's not the case. So this is a good thing to know if you're ever considering moving abroad, or if you're recruited abroad for a high-paying executive level job outside of the United States and you're an American green card holder or a citizen. You will be double taxed on your income that you earned abroad, even if you never set foot in the United States again. I was not able to go back to the United States for an entire year in 2020 because of all the stuff that's going on, but still I am now on the hook for paying a tremendous amount of money to the US government. And that is why I had kind of a meltdown yesterday, and I spent the entire day reading the IRS website, which is inscrutable to a layperson like me who is not a tax professional. I was communicating with my accountant here in the UK, and then at night I recorded a podcast episode with Andy, and that was really fun. Like, I think that that really helps me talking to my friends and actually talking to new really interesting people. And what I'm trying to tell myself now is that this is just one of those things where I did not have the right information. I had the wrong idea about something, and even if I think it is unfair that I have to pay all this money to the US government, even though I wasn't living there for 2 years and now I'm in my 3rd year of not living in the United States, it's just part of the deal. It's like the membership fee I have to pay for having an American passport, and I don't know, I can't tell the future, so I don't know if it's worth it or not, but it is the way it is, and whatever number my accountancy firm ends up telling me I have to pay to the IRS, there's nothing I can do about that. What's up, guys? Happy Wednesday. I don't know what's going on with my hair. I've been actually blow drying my hair a lot more lately because we've been filming a lot more podcasts and my hair looks better when it's blow dried. But on days when we're not filming, I'm trying not to blow dry my hair because I think it creates damage. Anyway, so I didn't blow dry my hair today and it's a little fluffy. I'm trying to do more steps because I've realized that over the past few months, I've really slacked on steps, and that has really been hindering my progress and just I think my mobility overall in general, just cutting down on steps so much this year compared to last year. So I stayed for an extra 45 minutes, 50 minutes at the gym this morning doing steps, which is, I really enjoy it, but it does take a lot of time. And then I came back here and I had my post-workout meal, which by now I'm sure you guys have seen in the past couple of days, is like a small sushi tray from Itsu here in Oxford. I finished up 2 of the profiles I had to write for my friend's magazine, so that's done. I emailed my accountant back. Oh, good news, good news. So late yesterday, my accountant got in touch. So the number I have to pay is actually not terribly scary. It's not great, and it's still a lot of money that I have to pay the IRS, especially like for a year that I didn't even set foot in the United States, not even once. But it is what it is, and the number is way better than I was worried it would be. I was thinking about going out and getting something to eat, so I might do that. I'll take you guys with me. Obviously, it's kind of alternating between a beautiful blue sky day and random downpours. Tonight, I have a call with Andy and a production company in LA because we got this really interesting opportunity and we haven't even launched our podcast yet. Andy and I have just been recording, and we're gonna try to drop 8 to 10 episodes in one go. I think, especially in terms of what we're doing, both of us are new podcasters and we're not known in that sort of ecosystem. I think our strategy is to drop as much as we can, and for us, recording these episodes has been such an amazing learning experience. The learning curve is so steep. Like when I did my own podcast, it was literally just me in my own like little world in Hong Kong and talking to my friends overseas. So I was working very much in silo and I didn't have someone to bounce ideas off of. But what's great about the podcast that Andy and I are doing together is that when you see the podcast, you'll understand Andy and I, we've been friends for like 20 years, but we have polar opposite perspectives and personalities and approaches to storytelling, editorial, and just focus. And our careers are incredibly different, and how we talk to interviewees and what we're obsessed with when people start telling their stories is totally different. And I think that makes a really good balance for our podcast. Okay, I'm just getting ready for my call with LA, but this lip color I just bought today, I went to Superdrug and I saw this Revlon Kiss Cloud. It's called a blotted lip color, so it looks like it's already been blotted. This is the color Whipped Hazelnut, and I really like it. It is so neutral. It's definitely brown, but it is almost the color of my natural lips brown, so it's very light, and I feel like this is one of those lip colors where when I put it on, I feel like it just like makes my face look instantly neater. Anyway, I'm gonna wear it for my call, so just wanted to show you guys. What's up, you guys? Happy Thursday. My hair's a mess again today. I'm wearing my Mr. Mickey t-shirt. I went to the gym this morning. I am so tired. It was one of those nights where I fell asleep early, but then I woke up at 2:30 in the morning for no reason. I actually think I know the reason. I think it's because I ate candy at like 8 p.m. Mostly today, I have been working on editing 2 episodes of the podcast. I'm working on our website, which is exciting. It's gonna be a pretty straightforward website where we're gonna bank the episodes of the podcast and the videos. And yeah, like that's my day. It's kind of rainy out today, so I went to the supermarket and picked up essentials for today, and that way I don't have to go out again. I've been feeling very excited about these projects that we keep on pushing forward. I do think, and it's only been like a few weeks, but I think that the issue that I was grappling with a few weeks ago about whether to like start my own thing, I think the key, maybe if you're also struggling with it, I'm not like I'm like, you know, have monetized anything yet, but I think the key is to work with a friend who has also had that feeling for a long time, because it's really hard to do things by yourself. But if you can work with a friend who has a similar work ethic as you do, so Andy and I both work really hard, to a friend who has a similar point of view on the world but a very different way of approaching it, that is really helpful because it creates a balance, and so you're both not doing the same thing. Like, I am very operational and Andy is very networking, relationships, big picture. So that works out really, really well. And if you can find a friend to work with where you're both moving the project forward at a good pace, it's so motivating, because I can definitely see throughout the past 2 weeks, there could have been moments where if I had been working on this by myself, I would have been like, oh my God, this is too much work. I'm just gonna stop, I'm gonna take a break, and then I wouldn't have picked it up again. But because Andy's in LA and doing his part, and I'm in England doing my part, we're on different time zones. And so in a way, the project gains its own momentum, and it doesn't require one person to have all the motivation in the world to push it forward. It moves forward on its own, but by virtue of 2 people sort of pushing the wheel. Does that make sense? So this is what I'm working on. Our podcast, the first one that Andy and I are launching, is called Chinese Food Fight Club. And I've had this website forever, but I haven't made it public until now. And I'm sharing it with Andy. We're gonna figure out a content strategy, if we're gonna do anything on top of the podcast and the videos. I am on my second Alani Nu energy drink of the day, but it's okay because it's like 2:30. So I spaced them out a little bit, and I'm drinking lots of water in between. I'm gonna get back to editing, and I'll see you guys later. It's 6:45. It's turning into winter. It's so dark outside. What's up guys? It's Friday. I got an early start this morning because I had a very early gym session. I did 4 training sessions this week and I was really ambitious. I thought I could do like an hour of steps after my training session today, but I realized this morning that I was doing a second leg day, so there's no way I can do steps after I do a leg day because I'm just done. I'm exhausted. So I came back, I had some oatmeal with egg whites and peanut butter, which is, love it. And I'm ready to start my day. It's pretty early. I'm going to do some editing today and then I'm recording again with Andy this afternoon. It's October 1st, so I am getting ready to kick my job / career search into high gear. I think sometime in the next few months, I would really like to be making money, which would be great. I think I'm just one of those people who functions better having something long-term and task-oriented to focus on. And I'm definitely one of those people who, if you give me a million things to do and then you add one thing on top of the million things, I will do all the things. But if I only have 1 or 2 things to do, I will stretch that out to fill the entire day. So after 5 months of not doing very much at all, I feel so ready to do stuff and I'm just looking for the right opportunity. So I've been interviewing a lot. I've been applying for some jobs. I've been putting feelers out there to see what's happening in New York, whether there are opportunities for consultancies and things like that. So fingers crossed something comes through. I'm pretty open now to moving back to New York for a little while or staying here. I'm open to either one. I definitely feel like I got a great opportunity to live my dream year here in England. I mean, it wasn't a dream because there was a lockdown and there's a pandemic and, you know, everyone is still operating on a very limited basis, but I feel so lucky that I was able to do the thing that I've wanted to do for so long, which is live in England as an adult and actually have a really quiet summer, which is the lifestyle I love. But, and I've been saying this to myself for years, I'm not retired yet. I'm not ready to retire. I'm not old enough to retire. I have a lot left in me to do cool stuff and to do good work. And I really want to do good work over the next, I don't know, 20, 30 years. I don't know if any of you guys are also job hunting, but it is a really weird landscape out there right now. I've interviewed for a lot of really promising things, but there are so many positions and companies and industries that are just in very start, stop holding patterns. Like I'll interview and get to final stages and then everyone's like, oh, like this is on hold for now. I've also had some really strange experiences interviewing that I'll talk about probably at a later date, but just things that you don't think you'll run into in 2021. Let's just leave it there. So this morning I'm gonna get to editing and I will talk to you guys later on. This, you guys, this is what we call Mercury in retrograde. So Andy and I finished recording a podcast episode about 2.5 hours ago, and because we were told that Squadcast is the platform that we have to try, it's better than everything else, we recorded on Squadcast and it is not rendering his video. So this is driving me cuckoo. We were using Riverside in the beginning. It was really, really good, except that I think Riverside gets a little bit weird when every one of the podcasts has different recording equipment. So when you put it through the magic editor that they have, which is usually great, if people are using different microphones, the sound get really weird when they try to like make it equal. So Andy and I went back to Zoom, which is easy, straightforward, reliable, and we're very familiar with how to use it. And we recorded a bunch of episodes really successfully, easily on Zoom. And someone was like, a friend of ours who has like great resources, was like, you have to use Squadcast, it's amazing. And it's driving me crazy. Hopefully it does render. Hopefully we don't completely lose this episode. It's so frustrating because we had such good conversation and Mercury is in retrograde. Hey guys, it's Saturday. I always try to like schedule, or not schedule as the case may be, one day a week where I have nothing on my calendar, just to give myself a psychological break from doing stuff. And also because I like to have one day where I just like watch Netflix all day or am incredibly inefficient. And I was so inefficient this morning that after I had breakfast, which was oatmeal with egg whites and peanut butter, which I love, and I'm starting to eat again, I took a break from it because I got sick of eating it every day. Anyway, I forgot to take my supplements, and it's just about 2 o'clock now, and I was like, I feel like I forgot to do something today, so I'm taking my supplements. This morning I did some chores, and then I'm just responding to some messages now. I applied for another job. I'm trying to apply for one job a day, like at least one job a day. And it's actually really hard to find one job a day that not only is interesting and sounds exciting as a next step in my career, but also that aligns with my interests and my experiences and skills. But I did find something this morning that seemed like it was right up my alley, so I applied for it. And I feel myself shifting, and this changes from week to week, but I really do feel myself shifting towards and becoming more comfortable with the idea of moving back to New York. So that said, this is my Saturday. I'm gonna watch some YouTube videos, maybe watch the rest of Squid Game. I started watching it the other day and I was like, what is this show everyone's talking about? Everyone's obsessed with it. And I was like, I'm gonna watch one episode. I'm gonna take a break from work and watch one episode. And of course I binge watched like 5 episodes because it's so compelling. And it's also so dark and so weird and kind of perfect for the world that we're living in right now, for better or for worse, probably for worse. And that's what I'm gonna do today. And tomorrow we're gonna get back to work. I have to prep for an interview. I have to prep for a bunch of interviews I'm conducting this week. And yeah, next week is gonna be a pretty exciting week. We have a pretty exciting project that we're working on, and I hope everything goes well. I hope you're having a great weekend. I hope you are up to something fun this weekend and relaxing. It is pouring rain outside here in Oxford, and so I'm just gonna stay in, hunker down, put on some cozy sweatpants, and indulge in some Netflix. I hope you guys have a great week coming up.